Hi First Class, this is your Small World tutorial for Monday the 8th of February. Now we're going to take a look at the winter page. We're going to skip to page 48 because of all the snow that we're supposed to be getting this week. I thought it might be a nice time to do it. We could be doing the spring page, I suppose, but it's not going to be very spring-like weather this week, if the forecasts are to be believed anyway. So looking at, it's a science page and we're talking about weather. So we've got new words here, hibernate, we've got migrate, burrow, den, and V-shaped. V-shaped. There's a little dash in there to show that these two parts of the word are all kind of connected. V-shaped. So let's go through those. Hibernate. We know what hibernate is. It's when an animal falls asleep for the winter and then wakes up again in the spring, when the food is around again. Migrate. Migrate is a word that you may or may not have heard. It's where an animal travels to a different place during the during different seasons. Often, an animal will migrate from a cold place to a warm place for the winter. Burrow. You guys know what a burrow is. It's where a rabbit lives. Den is where some animals live, like I think foxes live in a den. Am I right there? Yeah, I think foxes live in a den. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, please let me know. V-shaped. It means exactly what it says. Something that is shaped like a V. Um, Another word I would like to go over with you. Well, there are other words throughout the page that we'll go over. So let's read the first passage. Very short. Winter is here. The months of winter are November, December, and January. Quick note on that. In some countries, like in our neighbours' country, England, and actually I think Wales and Scotland are the same, and even up in Northern Ireland, they count it differently. It is not November, December, and January. They count it as, I think they count it as December, January, and February, actually. So winter is kind of different depending on where you are in the world. In Australia, on the opposite side of the world, winter over there is, I think it's June, July, and August, because they're on the opposite side of the world. So that means that their seasons are opposite as well, which is really strange to us. But basically, winter for them, well, winter for us, which is, say, think about Christmas time, December, that's actually the warmest time of the year in Australia and in places like New Zealand and other places on the opposite side of the world, in the southern part of the world. So that doesn't really matter too much. We're just a fun little fact for you aside from that. Part A here, ring the word that will finish each sentence and then write the word in the space. It is winter and the, here's a tough word now. Here's a word that I think that is even tougher than all of the new words here. Deciduous. Deciduous is a type of tree. We'll come back to that in a second. It is winter and the deciduous trees have no, I'll do this one with you, because deciduous and evergreen are the two types of trees. When you go for a walk, you will see oak trees, ash trees, all of the trees that have leaves are deciduous trees. And then evergreen trees or conifers are the types of trees like Christmas trees that don't have leaves, they have needles instead. So deciduous trees are trees that have leaves. So it is winter and the deciduous trees have no branches or leaves. Leaves, of course. The deciduous trees lose all of their leaves in the winter, whereas the conifers, the evergreen trees, like the Christmas trees, the fir trees, the um, let me try and think of another one. Larch, I think, is another one. Those types of trees do not lose leaves because they don't have leaves on them. They do shed their needles, as anyone who has cleaned out the house after having a Christmas tree that isn't made of plastic will know. So moving on, we put on our hats and something when we go for a walk, scarves or shorts. When it snows, we build a big something outside, snowman or treehouse. Hopefully, some of you will get to do this week. We will use a card for the snowman's eyes or nose. It is dark at 5 o'clock, so we have to turn on the lights or the oven. Maybe both. Um, what do animals do in winter? Use the box to help you. So we have frog, hibernate, rabbit, bear, geese, and migrate. I am a blank. I spend my winter looking for leaves, twigs, and bark to eat. When the weather gets very cold, I move into my burrow. We are g- we to a warmer country in winter. We fly in a V-shaped group. We make a lot of noise. The V-shaped group. So that's why we have V-shaped at the top of the page. They do make a lot of noise. I am a when it gets cold, my body cools down and I cannot move. I like to lie in leaves or in the mud at the bottom of a pond. I am a I big long word there. In winter, I sleep in a den. Sometimes I stay there for 8 months. So wow, 8 months, that's a long time. So den, I said that a fox lives in a den, and I think I'm right about that. I think a fox does live in a den, but also a bear lives in a den. So best of luck with that page, guys. If you have any trouble with it, just let me know, please. Slán agus garam